Can I Eat That? Exploring a few of Alaska's tastiest plants.
Welcome to the Eagle River Nature Center. I'm Chief Naturalist Samantha Russell-Blumenkoenig, and what I want to do today is answer the quintessential omnivore question: can I eat that? We're going to look at 5 different plants that are common to South Central Alaska and figure out what we can eat and how we can eat them. First of all, whenever you go out looking for wild edibles, is what kind of land are you on and are you allowed to collect? In all state parks, you're allowed to collect for personal use. But here at the Eagle River Nature Center, on the Rodak Trail and on the Albert Loop, it's a specified educational zone, so you're not allowed to pick here.
When you're foraging, be sure you know what you're foraging, if you're allowed to forage it, and any hazards that might be in the area.
Ferns. Can you eat that? Yes, but. So in Alaska, there are lots of different kinds of ferns. What we mostly think of as fiddlehead ferns are the ostrich fern. Later on in the season, ostrich ferns send up these dried out kind of blades that look like ostrich feathers. During most of the summer, they have these big, beautiful blades like this. But what we're looking for is the little fiddlehead, or the crow's ear, the little round tip at the end, as shown in this picture here. Oh, hi! I'm just making angels in the midden piles. These come from spruce cones, which are not edible for people. We're not squirrels. Squirrels, though, love to eat them, and they'll throw the leftover scales right on the ground in what we like to call midden piles. Tangy! Spruce tips. You can eat those. They're really good when they're just budding out. They'll be bright green, and at the tip of the stem, they might even have some of this brown fuzz on them. You can make tea out of them, but what I like to do is grind them up with some sugar and make shortbread.
Pause here if you'd like to record this recipe.
Ouch, nettles. Can I eat that? Absolutely you can. When nettles are small like this guy right here, you can pick them and fry them up in butter, or you can steam them or anything like that. Nettles sting you with tiny little trichomes that run up and down their stems. And in the cooking process, those trichomes are relaxed and they won't sting you once you eat them. As a nettle ages and gets bigger, you can use the leaves to dry out and make teas and all sorts of things like that. I know that this is a nettle because I see that the leaves are directly across from each other, and I see that the leaves have kind of a jaggy edge like this and are deeply round. It's really important that you have a couple of guides with you and be absolutely certain that you know what you're eating. Phenomenal! We have a couple of different kinds of plants going on here. First, these tall boys are equisetum. We can't eat those. We also have some of these rounder things with narrow leaf blades. These are fireweed, and we can eat just about every part of a fireweed. When they're little and red, like this guy, they're delicious to fry up right along with your nettles and other ditchweeds that you find that are delicious. And as they grow and flower out, their flowers can be eaten plain or turned into jelly.
Pause here if you'd like to record this recipe.
One other plant in this area, and I bet you'll recognize it, is the dandelion. Dandelions, you can eat the greens just like this, and add a little bitter mix-up to your salads. You can use the roots in teas, and they help to support all sorts of different kinds of health. And you can eat the blossoms raw. Something to think about, though, is where you're harvesting. If you're harvesting right next to a parking lot, it might not be the best thing, because you're going to end up with all sorts of different kinds of toxins in your plants. The further away you go from trafficked areas, the healthier your plants are going to be and the better they're going to be for you.
In part 1, we talked about ostrich ferns, spruce trees, nettles, equisetum, fireweed, and dandelion. As a reminder, make sure you know what you're harvesting and you can identify it from more than one source. Also know that you are allowed to harvest on the land that you are on. Here are a few other resources for harvesting in Alaska. We'll post links in the comments.